Good evening, and welcome to the Undergraduate Scholars and Major Awards Recognition event. My name is Bill Monroe. I am Dean of the Honors College, and I'm very happy to be a part of the terrific program we have for you this evening. Tonight you'll be hearing from the Senior Academic Officer of the University of Houston, Provost Paula Myrick Short, as well as Dr. Ben Rader, the Director of our Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards, and several of our outstanding students who will be giving quick answers to questions of real interest to you. But right now it is my pleasure to introduce the person who has been key to the many successes that are being recognized tonight. As Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Paula Myrick Short has provided a guiding vision as well as extensive support for student achievement at the highest level. She initiated the Provost Service Learning Scholarships to help jumpstart the Bonner Leader Program, Passports for Cougs and the Global Citizens Credential to emphasize study, service, and learning abroad, and of course, the Houston Scholars Program and the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards, which is responsible for the program and recognitions this evening. As part of the Houston Scholars Program, she supports HERE, the Houston Early Research Experience, one of the foundational programs for undergraduate research and major awards. And she placed the Fulbright Scholarship Program in the Honors College, where the program has grown and prospered with the active participation of faculty from across the university. As the champion of the university's Phi Beta Kappa chapter, the oldest and most prestigious honor society, she supports our efforts to recruit the best and brightest to the university, and her vision of a culture of excellence, aspiration, and achievement can be seen in the focused pursuit of major awards. In the last 2 years, UH has celebrated only its second ever Truman Scholar, its second ever Udall Scholar, and for the first time in its history, was named a top producing Fulbright institution, with more Fulbright Scholarship winners than Texas Tech, Texas A&M, LSU, SMU, and Rice combined. Her initiatives have extended high-quality experiential learning opportunities to the entire campus and encouraged student engagement with our neighborhood, our city, and beyond through service learning, learning away and abroad, and undergraduate research, all of which lead to competitive candidates for scholarships and major awards. Provost Short, welcome to the 2020 celebration of undergraduate scholars and major awards.
Good evening, and thank you, Dean Monroe, for your introduction. I'm so pleased to join you for this very special occasion. Tonight, we're honoring those who've demonstrated exceptional scholarship at the University of Houston. And those of you tonight who have earned a fellowship or an award this year bring distinction to yourself and to the University of Houston. I want you to know that you are making us very, very proud. I know the students are grateful for the extraordinary support of their mentors and the faculty and staff of the Honors College. They are just the best. I especially want to acknowledge the faculty members who've played an important role in the success of these students who are receiving these accolades tonight. First, Dr. Richard Armstrong has been instrumental in supporting the Fulbright candidates during campus interviews, writing campus committee evaluation forms, and advising students. And Professor Allison Leland for her work preparing our Truman Scholarship winner, Michael Floyd's interview. And Professor Michael Ferris for his work recruiting Arabic students to apply for the Critical Language Scholarship. And finally, to Bill Monroe, Dean of the Honors College, for his visionary leadership in the college, who's made so much of this possible. One of the things that they have clearly taught you, students, is that it's very important to apply for these fellowships and awards early in your academic career. as the application and interview processes help you focus and gain experience you might not otherwise have. These applications provide learning opportunities that help you refine your career goals and then make intentional decisions on your academic planning in order to realize those goals. And let me say, we have experienced tremendous success. For the first time in the history of the university, UH was named a top producing Fulbright institution. And last year we had 8 Fulbright recipients, which is the second highest total in one year. In the last 3 years, UH has produced 26 recipients. For the first time in 36 years, the university has a Harry S. Truman Scholarship, only the second time in our history. And we have the highest total ever of critical language scholarships with 5. One Marcus Urans Fellow awarded by the Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi, the oldest all-discipline honor society. And this makes the 3rd UH recipient in 4 years. And our first Phi Beta Kappa Key into Public Service recipient. I want to say congratulations to Dean Monroe, Dean Rader, and to the entire Honors College for these outstanding and meaningful achievements. And to the students, I look forward to your continued success at the university and in your careers. I know you have great things in your future. You make us Cougar proud, and thank you for all that you have achieved and all you will achieve as you go through life. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Short, for your comments. It has been an incredible year of change for all of us. This event, which was originally scheduled to take place 6 months ago, was just one of the many things that has been affected by the outbreak and continuation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the disruptions to our state of normalcy, we can be proud of the many achievements in 2019-2020 and the manner in which we have adjusted to the new normal of 2020-2021. Provost Short highlighted some of our recent successes, being named a top producing Fulbright student institution for 2019-2020, the first time in UH's history, the most ever critical language scholarship recipients in a single year, our first ever PBK Key into Service Award, and our first ever Thomas R. Pickering Fellowship recipient. And of course, UH's second ever Harry S. Truman Scholarship recipient and the first in 36 years. However, I also want to talk about the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards' response to the pandemic. COVID-19 has challenged equal accessibility to resources for many students. When the pandemic hit, we shifted all of our programming to a virtual format. Throughout the summer, our office held virtual workshops and advising sessions for all of UH's Fulbright applicants. We organized a Bayou City collaboration with Rice University, one of the few within the fellowship's world, to provide a set of informational workshops about getting good letters of recommendation and writing personal statements. Past and current applicants, as well as faculty from both institutions, participated. We have hosted webinars featuring fellowship foundations to speak directly to our students. This fall, Dr. Richard Armstrong and I completed a record 45 Fulbright interviews online for students in what will be the largest UH Fulbright cohort in school history. It is the 3rd year in a row that we have increased the number of Fulbright applicants, which is a testament to the hard work of our faculty, staff, and students who consistently strive to attain more. I'm excited about the work that we are currently doing to support our great students, and I'm confident that we will answer the current challenges with even more accomplishments. There are 2 groups of students that I am particularly excited to recognize this evening for their outstanding scholarly achievements. The first is the cohort of individuals who applied for or were named as recipients, alternates, honorable mentions, or finalists for major awards this past year. National fellowships and research experiences for undergraduates are as instrumental to the academic and professional development of our students as they are competitive. A major fellowship, or REU, can offer an unparalleled experiential learning opportunity. Merely applying provides a chance to grow as a scholar and a person. The often rigorous nature of the applications affords students the possibility to reflect on their time at UH, set goals, and clarify their paths. While working with our students, I've been impressed by their research projects, their volunteer efforts in the community, their ability to master a language, and simply their desire to achieve more. I admire their work ethic. Seeing how hard our students work in the classroom, in co-curriculars, and even to cover the cost of their education inspires me to do my job better. This past year, in response to being notified that they were a recipient of an award, I was humbled when many students wrote, "We did it." Just as rewarding is the student who sends me an email a year after their application was not accepted, but still wanted to say how appreciative they are for helping them craft a personal narrative that still resonates with them to this day. I look forward to supporting each student in their future endeavors. And for those that are graduating in the spring, the door is always open. Congratulations to all of our fellowship recipients, alternates, and honorable mentions on their achievements. The second group that I would like to acknowledge is the Houston Scholars. Supported by the Provost's Office and the Honors College, the Houston Scholars is a competitive program for high-achieving freshmen and sophomores to receive mentorship and scholarships to pursue research, internships, and other distinctive experiential learning opportunities. Through targeted programming, participants benefit from honing their academic and professional skills, developing connections with faculty, engaging in scholarly endeavors, and preparing to apply for nationally competitive scholarships in top graduate school programs. Houston Scholars are encouraged to engage in self-reflection, critical thinking, passionate inquiry, and the application of theory and research to real-world problems. During the 2019-20 academic year, 12 UH students were selected to form a new cohort of Houston Scholars and study the subject of urbanization in Houston. They attended guest lectures, participated in a research week in January, and my course, Mapping Success. I want to recognize Susan Rogers from Architecture for her outstanding seminars. Like everyone's programming, the year was cut short, but this year's Houston Scholars will present a solution to the subject of inequality in Houston at Undergraduate Research Day in April 2021. I'm also excited to announce that for 2020-2021, the Houston Scholars is growing for the second year in a row from 24 to 36 members. Congratulations to the Houston Scholars for all their great work this past year. There are a number of faculty and staff who have made much of the previously mentioned student success possible. First and foremost, Provost Paul Myrick's short support for vital programs including Houston Scholars, the Provost Undergraduate Research Scholarship, the Houston Early Research Experience, and the Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship have made it possible to develop many of our applicants and enrich the overall quality of their college experience with meaningful co-curricular programming. We could not have achieved so much without your commitment and desire to see Houston students pursue their dreams at the highest scholarly levels. I could not do this job without the collaborative efforts from colleagues across campus. The Language and Culture Center, under the incredible stewardship of Jody Nelms, has invited me to their virtual classrooms, and back in the day, actual classrooms to speak with students. The LCC often sends some of our best Fulbright English teaching applicants. I had the great pleasure of giving a commencement address to an LCC cohort a year ago and reciting the longest word in the German language. The Bonner Leaders Service Learning Program, under the new leadership of Dr. Doug Irwing and Trinity Rainier, has been all in on national fellowships and major awards. This year alone, 6 Bonners applied for Fulbright grants. And that is just one award. Speaking to the Bonners is always meaningful, and I think that the university can be optimistic about the new direction that the organization is taking. The entire Learning Abroad office, but especially Maggie Mahoney, has been an exceptional partner who collaborates with the Office of Undergraduate Research and major awards to emphasize the importance of international experiential learning opportunities. A significant number of our Fulbright recipients participated in Learning Abroad sponsored programs of a semester or longer. This is an obvious pipeline for future Fulbrighters, and I've been grateful for the opportunity to speak at pre-departure orientations and global guides meetings with Maggie. I'm also excited to say that we are forging new partnerships across campus with organizations like Teach Houston and the Advising Community Engagement and Services Institute, better known as ACES, to make more students aware of fellowship opportunities. Martha Hayes, Julia Brown, and Brenda Cruz-Wolf have written and published numerous articles and videos about our students' accomplishments that reach the larger campus community and beyond. Martha and Julia also develop marketing materials for awards such as Fulbright, NSF GRFP, and CLS that enable me to create effective awareness and recruit potential applicants. They are also responsible for the tremendous virtual program included with this year's event. Their work is always top-notch, and without their efforts, my message would get lost at a campus of 46,000 students. I want to thank all of the faculty and staff who have supported fellowship applicants by encouraging them to apply, reviewing materials, or inviting me to speak in their classrooms about the value of applying for fellowships. For the latter, I would especially like to thank Allison Leland, Jody Nelms, Max Raynard, Irene Gunther, Michelle Belko, Bhavya Tiwari, Jing Zhang, Richard Armstrong, and Kijun Bak, and anyone else whom I am unintentionally omitting. Seeing the actual person helps my message to resonate more when creating awareness for fellowship opportunities. Keeping with the theme of change that I initially outlined in my remarks, the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards has welcomed two colleagues who have been instrumental in preparing and identifying candidates for national fellowships. Last fall, the newly minted Dr. Brittany McLeod joined our office and has hit the ground running. Her work transitioning the SURF and PERS programs, as well as the first ever undergraduate research day online, is nothing short of breathtaking. Undergraduate research remains a key component in developing competitive applicants for major awards, and Brittany continues to provide students from across campus with that opportunity. Dr. Ricky Bettinger officially joined the office in summer 2019. The Mellon Research Scholars Program has taken off with her guidance and that of Associate Dean for Undergraduate Research, Dr. Stuart Long. Ricky's Fulbright advising has been crucial at various phases. In the previous application cycle, 2 Mellons received Fulbrights, and I am sure that there will be more to come. Lastly, I want to recognize Suman Essa, who worked tirelessly in our office as a graduate assistant. Suman is a critical language scholarship alum who applied her experience and expertise to advise students about the award last fall. Her expertise is a big reason why 5 UH students earned CLS, which is the most in school history. Suman's work ethic, combined with her approachable personality, made her a dynamic addition to our team. Tonight, though, I want to conclude my remarks by taking the time to continue a tradition for national fellowships and major awards that we started last year by honoring several individuals who have particularly distinguished themselves. The Outstanding Fellowship Mentor Award goes to a faculty or staff member who best exemplifies a commitment to supporting ARMA's work with major award applicants in creating awareness for fellowship opportunities. There are 2 individuals who have earned this outstanding honor. The first recipient has been a force in his department, recruiting students to apply for major awards such as the Critical Language Scholarship and the Fulbright U.S. Student Program. His hard work has paid off. In the past several years, his former Arabic students have won 6 CLS awards and the first ever UH Fulbright for the Middle East North Africa region. He regularly attends Critical Language Fridays, writes countless rec letters, submits language evaluations, and invites our office to speak in his classes. Last year, he was recognized for his outstanding teaching with a Provost Teaching Excellence Award. First Outstanding Fellowship Mentor Award goes to Michael Ferris. Our second recipient is Dr. David Rainbow. David has been a major advocate for the Critical Language Scholarship, Boren Awards, and the Fulbright U.S. Student Program. For the latter 2 opportunities, he has served as a campus committee member during various interviews. His feedback to students is always excellent, both in terms of content and delivery. The Fulbright interview process is intense. Last year, 40 students were interviewed in a 15-day period. David stepped up at the end to offer his assistance to Dr. Richard Armstrong and I, an act for which I am still grateful. Congratulations, David. The Outstanding Fellowship Applicant Award goes to a graduating student who is committed to the process of applying for major awards and competitive opportunities. This recognition is available to a student who has served as an ambassador for the Major Awards Initiative at UH and has demonstrated academic achievement and growth from the process of applying for national fellowships. This year's recipient, during the time that I have worked with her, has applied for several international opportunities. Last year, she was named an alternate for the Fulbright English Teaching Assistant Award, Roma Student Initiative to Hungary, and in true dedication to the old Austro-Hungarian Empire, is reapplying this year for the Fulbright Community-Based Combined Award to Austria. This past year, she was named the first ever Critical Language Scholarship recipient from the University of Houston for Punjabi. Her biggest achievement might be being hired by the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards as a graduate assistant, for which she has led outreach sessions for CLS and given a new social media presence to our office. We are very fortunate to have her on the team. This year's recipient of the Outstanding Fellowship Applicant Award goes to Nimra Zubair. I would like to introduce 3 students, April Alex, Hamad Khan, and Deborah Maracek, who will speak about their experiences applying for national fellowships.
When I found out that I received the Fulbright Research Grant to Peru, I felt so excited, and because of all the anticipation of waiting for a couple months to hear back, I honestly could not stop shaking. I also felt just an overwhelming sense of gratitude to my mentors at UH and also my friends who had helped me through the application and who really supported me as I, tried to accomplish this goal of mine.
It was very surreal. Having to pave my own path as a minority and a first-generation college student, it was rewarding to see the fruition of my hard work through this distinctive achievement.
Finding out I was a recipient, I definitely wasn't sure how to feel. I think I spent a lot of time preparing myself to be disappointed, and for that moment when I found out that, I didn't win. So when the opposite happened, it just didn't feel real because I hadn't thought about it at all. It still doesn't feel real. I think the only thing that has felt real is how happy I am with everything that came, all the opportunities that came with winning those awards. I could not be happier with where I am right now in my academic journey.
I strongly believe that the most rewarding aspect of applying to any grant or opportunity is the reflection that you must do in order to produce a very strong application. I believe that it really does put everything in perspective, and it helps you understand why you participate in certain activities and why you favor certain activities over others, and how all this has led to a larger goal. Even if you're like me and you didn't realize all these things were leading to this goal. Also, it doesn't hurt to have all these wonderfully nicely edited materials whenever you're applying to graduate programs and professional programs like I am doing right now.
The human connections I made through this process were very enriching. From meeting fellow UH students with similar interests of exploring the world and making a global difference, to developing unique relations with professors. This application process was truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I think the most rewarding aspect of the application process was that I was kind of forced to write about myself in ways that I'm not typically used to thinking about myself. And so having to figure out those little parts of me that I never try to put into words was a very fun and rewarding process.
I would strongly advise outstanding first-year students to apply to any national fellowships that they are compatible with and of course that interests them. I would also advise that they start talking to the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards about their fellowships early in their undergraduate career. That's one of my regrets, that I didn't begin earlier. I think the earlier you start having those really important conversations, the better you can shape your experiences to build these really competitive applications for fellowships and other opportunities throughout undergraduate and of course for postgrad as well.
I would say don't doubt yourself. Take the opportunity and apply. The application process alone is an excellent reflective opportunity, and I believe with the amazing support system at U of H, your chances of being selected are exponentially elevated.
My advice for outstanding first-year students would be to invest your time in things you are truly passionate about. Don't try to go for everything at once. Don't try to go for things you think are going to impress others. Just follow your heart, and everything else will come as a result of your hard work.
Now, it is my pleasure to introduce 15 students who arrived on campus last fall and are already engaged, participating, and making contributions. Over 50 faculty and program directors were contacted and wrote insightful letters of support for dozens of outstanding students. From these nominations, 15 winners were selected by a faculty staff committee. These students represent the culture of excellence that is flourishing at the University of Houston, and we look for them and their peers to represent us as they compete for national scholarships and major awards. First, Catherine Ang. Catherine is from Houston and attended Cypress Fairbanks Senior High School. She was nominated by 3 faculty members: Professor Fritz Clayton, Director of the Honors Engineering Program, Dr. Marcia Cole, and Dr. Doug Irwing. Catherine was just one of 2 freshmen participating in an engineering study abroad trip to Scotland during spring break. She is actively involved in UH's Society for Women Engineers and was chosen as a counselor for the Honors Engineering Program's Grade Camp this summer for 8th graders through 12th graders. She earned a Promise Scholarship for Engineering Achievement and has been designated as an S-STEM Scholar, an award granted by the National Science Foundation. Dr. Irwing says that Catherine also excelled in her co-curricular and service work. She served as a food insecurity team mentor her first semester and is now helping to operate the Houston Food Bank Pantry at Riverside Methodist Church, serving the food insecure in 3rd Ward. She is a constant participant in honors engineering events, including math competitions at TAMU, the beginning of school, the BOS party, and the Chevron Girls' Day. Catherine is majoring in electrical engineering and minoring in energy and sustainability. Penny Bond Redding. Penny Redding is also from Houston and also attended Cy-Fair High School. Thank you, Cy-Fair, for sending us these wonderful students. Penny was also nominated by 3 faculty members, Dr. Clayton, Dr. Cole, and Dr. Marina Treninick. According to Dr. Clayton and Dr. Cole, Penny immediately integrated into the university, where she prioritizes giving back to the community. She is an engineering ambassador for the Cullen College of Engineering Recruitment Office, an honors advocate for the Honors College, and this summer was the lead counselor for Grade Camp. Penny, like Catherine, was one of the 2 freshmen on that engineering study abroad trip to Scotland. Dr. Treninick, her human situation professor, says Penny, quote, helped to create an atmosphere of high intellectual and ethical standards and mutual respect. Penny is majoring in chemical engineering and minoring in leadership studies. Jordan Cavarubio. Jordan is from Lubbock, Texas, where he attended Estacado High School. To grasp Jordan's many qualities as a student, it is only necessary to listen carefully to his nominator, history professor Dr. Irene Gunther. Not only did Jordan make an A on his every exam and paper in my American history class, but his creative history project is one of the best artworks I have received from a student. Jordan created a multi-layered painting, every detail of which holds great significance. His painting is unforgettable, and the amount of time and effort and research and thought he expended on the project signifies the very best we can hope for from our students. Jordan is majoring in finance and accounting with, it sounds like, a strong inclination toward art and history. Nicole Davis. Nicole is originally from San Antonio and was graduated from Samuel Clemens High School in Fort Bend. She was nominated by Dr. Irwing, who got to know her through the Bonner Service Learning Program, and as dean, I got to know her through the Human Situation Text Group Lecture Awards process. As Dr. Irwing says, she served on the TGLA committee for both semesters of Human Situation, assisting in developing the criteria by which the best lectures should be determined, rating lectures, and presenting her committee's findings at the end of the semester. Nicole availed herself, as Dr. Irwing notes, of countless campus and community opportunities with the clear intention to take her work ethic and motivation, which she arrived with, and augment those with the skills and knowledge necessary to succeed in her endeavors, academically and otherwise. She made the dean's list both in honors and in Bauer, and she placed first in a regional competition and then competed at the national level in the Deloitte Fantastic competition. Nicole also excelled in her co-curricular and service work. She served as a mentor in WISE, the Writing to Inspire Successful Education Bonner program, and helped aid under-resourced persons prepare their taxes. Her sensitivity to the needs of others, says Dr. Irwing, ensured that the Bonner Spring Break team was prepared to feed 36 students with different dietary needs. Nicole is an accounting major who taught me, an English major, a thing or two about the value of human situation lectures. Michaela Durrett and Xavier Kalimula. Michaela and Xavier come from different backgrounds. Michaela is from Houston and went to Incarnate Word Academy, and Xavier is from Webster and was a homeschool student. But both excelled in Professor Hayan Sharara's human situation sections. Dr. Sharara describes their common virtues. Often, he says, students write papers that they think the professor will agree with, or else their arguments simply repeat what lecturers or discussions have already laid out in detail. Not Michaela or Xavier. Their papers were always thoughtful and risky. In fact, their arguments were among the most daring I've seen in a long time. Similarly, both Michaela and Xavier challenged their classmates to think deeply during discussions. More than most other students, they regularly contributed insightful, challenging interpretations and questions. These usually spurred other students into participating more fully. I could always count on them, both of them, to be engaged and through their engagements to encourage others to dive deeply into the texts and ideas at hand. In short, Michaela and Xavier are the kinds of students one hopes for at the beginning of each semester, and the kind that, when we realize we have them, make teaching and learning worthwhile for all. Michaela is a mechanical engineering major, minoring in energy and sustainability, and Xavier is majoring in liberal studies with minors in biology, kinesiology, and law, values, and policy. Fayez El-Kaisi. Fayez is from Houston and went to the Audi International School. He was nominated by Professor Armstrong in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages. In his nominating letter, Dr. Armstrong writes, Fayez El-Kaisi is a mechanical engineer with a brilliant, systematic mind. He writes thoroughly analytic and sensitive papers that provide solid insight and argumentation. He also made very substantive contributions to our class discussions, often crystallizing the group consensus in a well-worded sentence or two. He has shown he is a well-rounded intellectual in his first year and richly deserves this award. Fayez is a recipient of the Thomas and Richard Franklin Scholarship and is majoring in mechanical engineering. Guadalupe Lombera. Guadalupe graduated from Galena Park Early College High School. She was nominated by Dr. Rita Soria, who describes her as methodical, organized, and hardworking. She is genuinely curious, and that drives her to learn the material well and consider the implications of what she learns, Dr. Soria said. She frequently stops me after class to ask questions, both simple clarification questions and deeper questions that demonstrate how she is considering the material. What truly distinguishes Guadalupe, however, is her kind personality and sincere humility. Guadalupe is the type of student who improves any group she participates in by ensuring all group members are keeping pace. Dr. Soria says that she fully expects Guadalupe to continue to perform well in all her classes and looks forward to seeing what she accomplishes. Guadalupe is majoring in biology and minoring in medicine and society. James Miller. James is originally from Austin and was graduated from Straight Jesuit College Preparatory. He was nominated by Professor Christine Laveau Haley, who taught James in her American Government course. James, she says, was one of the most committed and hardest working students in the class, she writes in her nomination letter. He was always in class, whether in person or on teams. He was always prepared and serious about his responsibility as a student to be informed and engaged. He generously supported his peers, including older and more advanced students, when they worked together in teams. James is not just an A student, He is an A person who brings respect and integrity to the classroom. James is double majoring in sports administration and journalism and is the recipient of a Great Conversation Scholarship. Alfonso Reyes. Alfonso is from San Antonio, where he graduated from Lee High School. He was nominated by Professor Doug Irwin, who points out that Alfonso was on the Honors College's Dean's List and serves on the staff of Glass Mountain, the acclaimed UH undergraduate literary magazine. Alfonso has also excelled in his co-curricular and service work, and he serves as a mentor in that WISE program, where his duties included proposing and implementing the pilot program's structure and schedule. Meanwhile, Alfonso has continued to be a mentor at Foster Elementary School, mentoring 2 4th grade students through essay and reading practice. Alfonso is an English major, minoring in leadership studies. Jamie Rose. Jamie is from Arlington, Texas, where she attended Mansfield Summit High School. She was nominated by Drs. Clayton and Cole, who write that she exhibits impressive levels of maturity, professionalism, and drive. As one of the very top students, she embodies an extremely important balance of ambition matched with humility and is a soft-spoken leader who is respected by her peers. Jamie is currently contributing to on-campus biomedical engineering cancer research using computer algorithms to identify and predict the movement of T cells. The fact that Jamie is already involved in research illustrates her commitment to challenging herself and immediately becoming immersed in the field of biomedical engineering. At UH, Jamie is an active member of the Society for Women Engineers and routinely volunteers in the community as part of honors engineering. Jamie is majoring in biomedical engineering. Ritu Sampij. Ritu is originally from Shenandoah, Texas, and graduated from Michael E. DeBakey High School. She was nominated by her human situation professor, Dr. Michael Barnes, who describes her as, quote, a marvel. Her attentive contributions to human sit discussion have been invaluable all year long. She has a gift for retaining copious amounts of information and for asking thoughtful, insightful, and helpful questions from which the entire class profits. She has a gift as well for answering tough questions, and her papers are models of clarity, presentation, and persuasion. If I could clone her and teach her every year, Dr. Barnes says, I would. Ritu is majoring in honors biomedical engineering with a minor in medicine and society. Neha Sunkara. Neha is from Beaumont, where she graduated from Clear Horizons Early College High School. She was nominated both by Dr. Michael Barnes and her biology professor, Dr. Mark Hankey, who writes that Neha excelled due to hard work and thoroughness. She is exemplary in critically thinking beyond the basic concepts and then applying the material. She is always one of the first students to arrive in class and is going over the material for that day's lecture before even I arrive. She embodies achievement values by seeking research and learning abroad opportunities outside the classroom. Dr. Barnes strikes a similar note. Neha is, simply put, one of the most talented and promising students I have ever taught. Intellectually gifted, hardworking, gregarious, and not afraid of challenges. She is a sharp and incisive thinker, always attentive and alert, and I have come to depend on her thoughtful contributions to class discussion. I was thrilled that she planned to travel to Greece on my study abroad program last summer, and since we had to cancel due to COVID, hope that she will make plans for the Greece study abroad in 2021. I look forward to weeks of adventure in her company. Neha is majoring in biology and minoring in medicine and society. Iva Wagner. Iva is from San Diego, where she went to Boardman High School. She was nominated by Professor Jesse Rainbow, who describes her as one of the most dedicated students he has ever known. Quote, she is diligent in her reading, eloquent in her writing, and incisive in her analysis. Her fall semester notebook was a model of the sort of engagement with great books that this course is all about. Her curiosity and keenness made her one of my truly outstanding students. Iva is majoring in chemical engineering and is the recipient of a Great Conversation Scholarship. Our final outstanding first-year student is Jeremy Yarbrough. Jeremy is from Houston and graduated from Deer Park High School. He was nominated by Drs. Clayton and Cowell, who note that he earned the top grade in the first-year Introduction to Engineering course. In addition to his outstanding academic work, they commend Jeremy for his respectful demeanor and describe him as a stellar representative of the University of Houston. In addition to the Honors College, Jeremy is also part of the UH chapter of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Jeremy is majoring in mechanical engineering and minoring in energy and sustainability. Congratulations to each and every one of you on a great first year. This concludes the Undergraduate Scholars and Major Awards recognition event. We hope that you have enjoyed the evening and been inspired by the University of Houston's culture of excellence and achievement. Be sure to be in touch with Dr. Ben Rader, Dr. Brittany McLeod, and Dr. Ricky Bettinger in the Office of Undergraduate Research and Major Awards for more information about the outstanding opportunities available through the Honors College.